Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. So far this month, we've fully covered dry January. We've briefly mentioned a vegan-friendly beer or two for Veganuary, and in today's episode, we'll wrap up the month covering Tryanuary. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello.
And we are two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. At the end of January already.
I can't believe how fast. I can't believe how fast it's gone through, and we're still in lockdown. Every day feels the same. It's literally same day after day.
21. No different.
But I think the one thing is this Tryanuary thing has given us a bit of something to look forward to, new and different things to spice it up.
Sunshine.
Spicing up January. Because I don't know about you, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not suffering from being in lockdown like I know some people are genuinely struggling. I've not been struggling in that way. It's more been the waking up, logging into work, working late, throwing dinner in my face, going to bed, and it feels like every day is the same thing. So us challenging ourselves to drink all the new beers and the new from new breweries really has helped spice things up. I think if people remember in our end of 2021 episode, we each covered 5 beers that we wanted to, it's ones that I wanted to try and buy from in general that I've not done before to my knowledge, and yours was lists of ones that you either wanted to do for the first time or you wanted to do more of. I think my list was Malt Garden, Dig, Don Zoco, Fallen Acorn, and Wander Beyond. What was on yours? Refresh people. What was on yours?
Mine were Brew by Numbers, Brew Co, Braybrook, Utopian, and Don Zoco.
We shared one.
We did. Yeah.
We shared. So yeah, now we've ticked off the majority of the list, bar one that we really struggled to find. Utopian was really a struggle to find.
I'm just going to end up doing a direct order from them, I think.
Yeah,
next
especially
payday.
You shared the black one with me, or did I tag you in that one, the black lager? One of us tagged the other one in the black lager, and now it's like, oh, then you saw the pack, and there's like a whole pack to it, and now we're like, okay, go on then, let's give that one a go.
Yeah, they've got Czech Pilsner as well, and Czech Pilsners I really like. So
I could say, oh, I like that, but then at the end of the day, to me, I just go, oh, it's a pil. I don't. You need to teach me what the difference between all the different type of pilsners are. So that's separate episode right there. That's a justification for buying Utopian. So you can teach me about the different pilsners. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, I think disclaimer to anybody listening or watching this, we have done, in the true spirit of Tryanuary, we were not going to do a marathon sprint at the end. We have spaced out our drinking. We have spaced out our buying.
We're drinking responsibly.
Drinking very, very responsibly. We're only doing 4 beers tonight in this session, and then you're going to notice probably outfit changes and everything else. That's going to be we want to show off our Joanne's got every t-shirt.
Got my new Neon Raptor t-shirt on today.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Love it.
I think I managed. It came from Spain.
I know Helen got the same. Our friend Helen got the same one. And if you're
she hasn't got hers yet, has she?
No, she's got hers now.
Oh, she has got it now.
She has got hers now.
It's coming from Spain. They took forever. And I was like, why are they sending t-shirts from Spain? Neon Raptor, why are you sending t-shirts from Spain?
It's their third party, I think, that does the t-shirts, and it happens to be in Spain.
Very strange, but I have it.
Love it. Yay. If you're looking at the video, it's amazing.
It's Neon Raptor's logo.
It makes me think of like Jurassic Park for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because it's got a neon coloured raptor on it. That's why. I've been wanting one for ages.
If anyone plays board games that listens to this and you know what Dino Island is, it's very Dino Island. And only people that play board games are going to know that. Joe, I'll show you the box when we're done recording. Right, just so you can see the box. It's
Thanks.
Great. So we're drinking very responsibly. We've only got 4 in this session. So the rest of it, you might see us in different outfits and everything else. And that's because we spaced out our drinking and our buying to support as many people as we can on our list, as many people as we could find on our list. And yeah, so just thought I'd put that out there so that if you are watching it, you're not going, that's an industry. How did that happen? Magic. So yeah, drink responsibly, try everything, but space out your trying, please.
Yeah. And so we also want to give a shout out to Hoptimism and Left Field Beers, because between us, I ordered from Hoptimism and Tori ordered from Left Field Beers so that we could get all of the ones that we wanted. Very good customer service. Thank you very much to both of those. Go and buy some beers from them.
Yes, I got a call directly from Left Field Beers because I also had one beer in there. That's for another episode we're doing, which I'm not going to mention because it doesn't matter right now.
Spoilers.
But yeah, I don't want to do a spoiler this time. I always spoiler it. I'm not doing it this time. But I got a phone call from the guy that runs Left Field Beers, and he was very kind to say, I need to get your beers out in this time frame. I'm missing this one beer. It hasn't arrived yet. What do you want me to do about it? And he gave me several different options of what I could do about it. And he was very, very nice. And normally, sometimes I struggle to get an email from companies, not brewery related, but just from companies in general. So the fact that I got a phone call, I thought it was an OpenReach engineer for my job. And I was like, it was a day I wasn't working. I was like, oh no, what's gone wrong? And it was a nice conversation to say, really sorry, what do you want me to do? So very good customer service, no complaints. You know, we'll mention them later about what they're doing for Tryanuary as well. So go support Optimism and Left Field Beers and whoever your local is. So yeah, good shout out, Joe.
Yeah, go try something new and support our local bottle shops, everybody, and our independent bottle shops if they're not local to you.
So what are we going to drink today? Do you want to take people through what we're drinking today?
Yeah. Right, so our first one is one of mine. It is the Braybrook Black Lager. I'm excited about that.
It's quite difficult to see on camera, isn't it? Because it's a black label with like a charcoal grey writing on it, but it looks very, very nice. For that. Clean lines.
I like it. I like a black lager. Girl doesn't like
I've never had a black lager.
Oh, this is going to be good.
This is going to be fun.
This
is mine.
Oh yeah, you've got your one.
Oh no, yours is first, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think mine's first on the list. Doesn't matter. So then we've got
doesn't matter.
Play Brew Co's blackberry and raspberry and cherry pastry sour. That's exciting. That could be really good. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Then we've got one of yours.
You picked that one specifically as well.
I did, so. Yeah. So if it's bad, it's my fault. It won't be bad. Then we've got Dig Brew Co, which is your one. She's making me drink a dipper, everybody.
I'm loving every minute of it because she's getting her revenge on a future episode. Spoiler alert.
Yep, I am. This has got Sabro in it though, so that's exciting. What's it got? Oh no!
Don't say I never do anything for you.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Crime Fighter from Dig, and then this is another one of my ones. Brewed by Numbers, and it is one of their stouts. It is Canadian Breakfast.
How lovely does that sound?
Yeah.
I think actually my Dig is first on the lineup, and that's because I think I didn't want to want to do the fruit and then try to do the dip after because I thought the fruit might take away from it. But if you think it's a better order, we can.
No, let's do Dig, Braybrook, Play, Brew by Numbers.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
I'm excited.
Right, let's crack this open then. Right, so we are opening our Dig.
So Dig, from what I understand, they started in 2017 and they're located in Birmingham. I don't know if I pronounced that properly for you.
They've been around that long?
Yeah.
I'm surprised because they were quite hyped
what I saw
last year.
From what I managed to see online. So what I am really gutted about, admittedly, is what I liked, what really attracted me to Dig, obviously besides the hype around them and everyone talking about them and them looking good, their bottles looked amazing. It was like, so they've got these bottles that look kind of similar to this Braybrook one, but I'd say
they're a little stubby looking ones.
They're little, yeah, it's similar kind of stylish, but stubbier, like you said, shape. But then they've got the wax seal on top, and it's got this sort of writing on the front of all of them, really.
So it's like
if you're watching the video.
Yeah, so it's kind of I I don't know
It's
how
like
to
kind of like
describe it.
graffiti-ish style, but it's
kinda
like typewriter
graffiti.
meets graffiti is
Yeah.
what I would say. That's how I describe it. Typewriter meets a graffiti artist.
Right, there you go.
And
the
that's
wax
on the front of them.
The wax was glow in the dark as well, wasn't it?
Yes, some of the labels were glow in the dark. Some of the wax, not all of them, but some of the wax was glow in the dark. So I really kind of wanted to find a glass bottle one, but I really like dippers, and this one was on offer, so I went with the can instead. So it just means I've got to try them again. So
right, so this beer is hazy yellow. It's not soupy because I can just about see my fingers through it.
Yeah, I'd say lightly hazed.
Lightly hazed.
Lightly hazed.
I can see some carbonation bubbles in it. It's got a nice creamy white head on the top.
Yes, it does.
I can smell that Sabro straight away.
And that's the thing with Sabro, though, isn't it? Is Sabro takes over, absolutely takes over. Yeah. I think any coconut in general, when you have coconut additives in it and all that, the adjuncts and anything coconut related, coconut always seems to take over, which I'm not mad about.
No, I'm happy with it. Definite Sabro, coconut, pineapple cream.
Yes.
It's very fragrant.
So excited.
Right, here we go. We're going to taste it.
Do it. Cheers. It's very boozy.
It's very boozy. See, that's what I don't like about dippers. I don't like that alcohol burn.
Yeah, I like it though. Because I think the thing is, they start off with the alcohol burn, but actually the more you sip on it, the more the alcohol burn kind of goes away and you get more of the hoppiness, but you don't really like
that. I mean, it tastes all right, but I feel like that hop burn is taken away from the glorious fruitiness that is in here.
I'm getting lots of coconut, absolute massive amounts of coconut, very Sabro.
Super Sabro.
It is kind of like cocktail-like. I always find it's very cocktail-like when you have coconut and pineapple and the tropical fruits really in a very boozy beer. And I like it. Personally, it's my style for sure. It's an 8%, so it's 8% in a 330ml can. I would have I think it's right on par with taste wise with what the percentage is. Wouldn't argue that.
It's got a citra in it as well. Which I think is just being overshadowed by the Sabro.
I think that's what
not
Sabro
mad at
does. It. I do like how much we go. I'm not mad at it though.
No.
If you think about when we're drinking beers, we always go, "Oh, this is different." I'm not mad at it though.
It's not bad though. Not a bad thing.
I love that's my favorite
this
phrase.
Would be really,
not mad at it.
Yeah. This would be really lovely if it just didn't have that alcohol burn at the beginning.
Oh, I think it's really lovely as is. You are beautiful. Don't you change. That's how I feel about it. I would really happily. Like I wouldn't say I wouldn't describe it as sessionable. Like I wouldn't go, oh, that's a crushable beer.
Don't session this, people. It's 8%.
I would say though that it is for me. It's gorgeous for me, and it does make me curious to try more Dig. Actually, I think maybe something that's not a dipper.
Yeah.
Like, see what else. I think they've done stouts before.
I think it's well crafted. Like the flavors in there are lovely.
Yeah.
I just don't want that alcohol bit. An IPA might be delicious from them.
But that's the thing is this is not your go-to.
No, this is not me.
Style.
This is not me.
Like it is with me. So I'd be interested to see their versatility, to see how they do other things. So like you said, this is quite beautifully crafted. I'd like to see how they execute other styles because you've got I find that a lot of breweries that do like such amazing dippers. They'll do like amazing dippers, tippers, IPAs. And then they don't tend to put out a lot of other styles because they've just mastered this one style so well that they, I think we've mentioned it before on the podcast. Yeah. So be interesting to see, like, can they pull off this amazing range of all different styles? So I think for me, I'll definitely try them again. And I'm going to get the bottles because I really want to have the bottle.
Do you know how to get in under the wax? Do you know the trick?
Do you want to know if I actually know the trick that you know? How I get in under them is I take a bottle opener that's got the corkscrew and then I just go around it and pick at it.
So a way that you're not going to stab yourself, right? You need a butter knife. So So you need a blunt knife, and then you cut just along underneath. So I've got a bottle for the people that watch on the thing. So underneath the crown part, you need to cut straight along right under there, and then with the butter knife you cut like a smiley face. Right. And then you take that notch of wax out, and you need to have made it wide enough for your bottle opener, she says, shown on the video, to get in underneath the crown cap and then lift it off, and then the wax comes with it.
That seems a lot easier than the way I've been opening it.
It's the safest work your way around, because you don't, like, you use a blunt butter knife so you don't cut yourself if it slips, because sometimes it does, and sometimes you have to get like in there because the wax is thicker. But that's how you do it.
The amount of times I've slipped with the corkscrew and F-bombs came out. I made up words I didn't even know were words. It's not fun. So fun fact, now I've learned how to properly open the bottles.
There you go. Right. Blunt knife underneath the crown cap, smiley face, peel it out.
Smiley face. You should make an anagram for that.
Well, I learned it from Wild Beer Co, because they do wax bottles, and on one of their virtual tastings, Brett, the owner, was just like, this is the safest way to get into the wax. Let me show you. Thanks, Brett. That was a brilliant tip. Now I teach everybody else it.
I like that. That is good. While I'm gonna sip on this for a bit longer. So I guess I wish you could send me yours. Like fire. I'd be like, give it to me. I will drink all of it. So I guess brief description of Tryanuary. I think everyone can probably figure out what it is. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I mean, I guess how do you take Tryanuary to mean?
So Tryanuary's been around for a while, and I think it's been emphasized a lot because, you know, dry January gets talked about a lot in January because people are trying to be healthier and maybe cut back on alcohol consumption because of New Year's resolutions and whatever. But it's definitely come out from like our smaller breweries, our craft brewers, from our bottle shops and our tap rooms and craft bars and things like that. Tryanuary, go and try new beers, try new breweries, try new, when you can, because we can't right now, go and try new places to drink, because where we've shown now what range of dry January beers, like alcohol-free beers, that there are.
Watch the episode. We extensively covered it.
Watch the episode. There's 2 episodes.
And then go watch Brewdog podcast, Brewdog News podcast, where I guested on that, and I got to talk more about alcohol-free beers.
But so that, like, there is more of a range now, and when bars and tap rooms and pubs are back up and running properly again, they'll be able to have more of a range in them. But going down dry January can sometimes mean that our smaller breweries, our smaller bars and things are not getting as much business. So as a side note, Tryanuary means that you're getting out there, you're trying new things responsibly and in moderation. But
in moderation.
But yeah, I think I've always
marathon your top 10 in one go. No, don't do it. I struggled with 9 alcohol-free beers. Yeah. At the end of that, I was like,
that was a lot.
Oh my god, like that. Yeah, we were like, never again.
Yeah, don't know. Even though it was alcohol-free, the fizz got to us.
Yeah, I was burping up a storm. It was not a cute look. Like it wasn't cute.
But anyway, Tryanuary is so that our pubs and our bottle shops and our breweries don't lose out on business.
I think it translates to it translates outside of beer as well, where it's kind of like, you know, try new restaurants, try new activities, do all this. But I think within beer, like you said, it's there's an emphasis on it, especially this year. I didn't really know about it. I've always heard dry January. I never heard Tryanuary to this year.
I've done Tryanuary quite a few but I mean I am the type of person that just tries something new all the time, so I've often used that old Tryanuary hashtag in my things.
Could you do that? Anyone watching the video, she's done a really great hashtag motion. We don't even need to describe that. No. You can figure it out what that
is. So I've done it several times, but I'm a person that tries lots of different beers, so I think it's good, like if you're a beer drinker, sometimes you get it and you drink the same sort of thing all the time. It's good to get out and try different styles, or, you know, try at least something different, like a different brewery that you've not had before. There is a wide, amazing world of beer out there. Like, go take it in.
Yeah, and I think it's also like in terms of supporting businesses and stuff as well. I mean, you can go direct to breweries, or you can try just even a bottle shop that you've heard of that you've not had a chance to order and spread. I think Tryanuary is a good time to sort of spread the love. Obviously, we know that everyone only has a finite amount of money,
Yeah.
but when you can, you kind of do an order with somebody that maybe you've not ordered from before, or somebody that's particularly small
Yeah.
that maybe really, really needs the help, or somebody that has a particular good stock of something else. So it's, try breweries, try different bottle shops or resellers, try different styles, all that. So yeah, that's a pretty good coverage, Joe.
Yeah, and it's definitely more important this year than ever because
Yes.
hospitality is struggling, as we know.
Yes, completely agree. What is I've finished mine. What's our next one?
Braybrook we're going to do next.
I'm really nervous to open.
Why? Oh, because you've been having bad luck with opening bottles, haven't you?
Just one. It's just all
Just
it takes
one.
is the
Just
one. All
one.
it takes is the
Now
one.
she's nervous.
To shake your confidence, and that's it. I did a tasting with Joe's Beer Tent Society, and joined that, Patreon that, did the first live tasting that since I've been a Patreon member. I had all bottles. I was really worried. I had kitchen roll
now.
Oh, you're gonna have to beep that. Literally, I had kitchen roll next to me. I was like, I am nervous. Ooh, that's beautiful.
This is nice.
I think with the beeping, it's going to make it extra good because people are going to try to figure out what it is I said. And that is going to make, just thinking out loud now, that's going to make me extra happy. The idea that someone's going to go, what did she say?
Hilarious. So this is like a dark ruby red colour.
Yes. I would say even chestnutty.
Yeah, like really dark chestnut. Yeah. It's got
sorry, my light's
creamy
over here.
creamy, like not quite beige, off white.
Off white.
Yeah, off white head.
Very bubbly.
Yeah, very bubbly. Lots of carbonation bubbles I'm seeing.
Smells very like malty-ish.
Smoked
type. Yeah, smoked.
Smoked malt in there. That's lovely.
Yeah, smells really nice. It's not, if you looked at it and you smelt it, you wouldn't go, that's a lager.
No, you wouldn't. No.
But I guess that's the black lager, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Honestly, close your eyes, drink this beer. Is that a lager? Yes or no?
But it is, because it's a.
It is, but it's not.
Because it's a Schwartz beer, which is a smoked beer.
I was going to say, you're looking at my face, which is completely
which
blank.
comes under the umbrella of. Right, so it's a Schwartz beer, which is a smoked beer, which comes under the umbrella of lager beers, which is why it's a lager. So a Schwartz beer has roasted or smoked malts in it.
Tick, very roasty.
Yeah,
that is a big old tick for me.
It does.
It's I like exceptionally roasty in taste for me.
The roastiness and the smokiness. Sometimes when you get beers like this, they kind of smell and taste a bit like smoked meat. Whereas this one is just kind of it's smoky and roasty and sweet. There isn't like it's not got that meatiness to it.
It doesn't have meatiness to it.
It's very good.
I think that if I smelled meatiness in my beer, I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
I
mean, I like meat. I'm a meat eater. That's not it. But I would just go, oh, that's an off-put. Like, it's off-putting to think about in terms of meatiness. But this is nice. This is a nice.
Be surprised. I've had some quite nice ones that have got smoked meat qualities to them.
I think it's just the when you hear about it, you go,
it doesn't sound pleasant. Yeah, but neither does
it tastes really good.
But descriptors like horse blanket don't sound particularly pleasant, but they are delicious.
Horse blanket. I forgot about that.
That's my favourite one.
Horse blanket.
This is delicious. It's got a really dry finish and makes you want to drink
like
more.
it. It's very Moorish, very Moorish. Yeah, I think the roastiness is really nice. Like I said, though, if I close I didn't know what a Schwartz beer was until you said it. So this is why I joined Beer Tent Society, so I don't have to feel extra bad when you give me the info, because I'm like, it's all right. I've joined Patreon. I can get the information. It's all good. But yeah, if I closed my eyes and drank it, I would quite literally. And you said, "Oh, what style is it?" If you had me do a blind taste test, I'd maybe actually say it was a bit like a porter or something. It's got a similar porterish bit to it.
Yeah, well, those kind of beers do have similar characteristics.
Which I think we've got to do a whole separate episode on.
Yeah.
Black variants of
But
beers.
it's a lager because it'll have been brewed with lager yeast rather than ale yeast, which gives it that clean finish.
Yes.
So it has got a crispness because it's not really got fruitiness.
No. And it does have that very dryness to it that you were saying. Like the dryness towards the back end of the taste is definitely there. And but like I think that's partially what makes it moreish, is it's because it's so clean and dry and the crispness. I just want to keep sipping it. I think it would pair quite well with a lot of food as well.
Be good with some cheeses.
Cheeses. I love it. I've had enough distance from Christmas now that I'm back into cheese. So
you know what? I dove into the cheese box today. I've actually got a box in the fridge that houses the interesting cheeses that are still left over from Christmas. And I hadn't had it for a couple of days, and I was just like, I'm going in the cheese box today. That's why
that's really nice. I finished all of our Christmas cheeses.
Well, see, so this is the thing. Gordon, my husband won't eat cheese with stuff in it. So he does
like anything, like nothing.
So he won't. So like he won't. He does cheddar, red Leicester, a smoked cheddar. That's probably about it. Whereas I'm like, give me the blue cheese. Give me the give me the blue cheese. Give me the Wensleydale with the cranberries and the blueberries, and I've got a Wensleydale that's got
Team Gordon, but also partially Team Joanne if I don't know what I'm eating. So it's like if you tell me, I used to love broccoli Stilton and soup until somebody told me that was like blue cheese basically, and then I was like, no, I don't like that anymore.
Blue cheese is delicious.
Once I know what goes into making it and the age process and what it looks like, I just go, oh, I'm actually all right though. But I like to spice up my cheddars. I like when there's garlic and herbs.
Oh, so he doesn't mind
garlic
in
anything.
Doesn't do herbs. Doesn't do spice.
Put garlic in everything.
Yeah, garlic and cheese.
So off piste.
Yeah, talking about cheese.
All I'm saying is Cheese and I, we had a separation after Christmas for a bit. We're seeing each other again. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
You do. Sometimes you have to. It's true. Back to the beer. It says on the bottle, the world of dark lagers is as diverse with flavours ranging from malty and sweet to dry and roasty with sharp edges. That's exciting.
Yeah, what I found really interesting actually with Braybrook. So they're located in Braybrook, which is near Market Harbour. I think that's Midlands, I believe. And they also, from what I saw, started in 2017. And they have on their website that their aim was to make really good lager. What I found particularly interesting when I was looking into them was that they only use malt from Franconia, Germany. And
really interesting.
Yeah, and they mill it on site, and their house yeast is grown in Bavaria and shipped overnight to make sure it's extra fresh. How interesting is that?
That's really interesting.
That's
really interesting.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because then if you pit these guys like up against Utopian, who are doing lager styles but doing it with all British ingredients, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like right on the label, so it says they're making high quality lagers to exacting German principles. Yeah. So I think that's sort of, they've gone, German lagers are exceptional. We want to make exceptional beers, and they've got the fact they've gone to great lengths to say we're getting, our yeast is being grown in Bavaria and overnight shipped to us. Yeah, that's A, dedication, and B, that's just a really interesting thing. I think
that's really interesting
to be doing. However, I don't know. I'm wondering how the whole Brexit thing is going to impact that, because it seems like they do outsource all their proper ingredients to Germany, and then they sort of do what they do on site. Hoping that it doesn't impact that. I'm hoping that they just don't. I think they'll be able to carry on with British stuff, but it would really be. Yeah, I'd feel really bad for them if they then had this extra struggle of having to get through that. Yeah,
and that's not like, it kind of goes against their mission statement, doesn't it?
Which is totally not their fault if they have to change.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
It's that thing that you're like, but I hope we get another one. I hope we get another I'd A, be interested in trying more from them, and B, be interested to try more black lagers, I think.
Well, I actually have the full set of Braybrook beers because David Franklin, who is in our Craft Beer UK group on Facebook, heard us talking about it on the end of year review episode. I was actually going that way, and so he picked me up a full set.
How sweet is that?
It's
How
so lovely.
So he is such a sweet man.
Thank you so much. I've got them ready to try, so I can try all of them. And I've sent him some Boutilliers to.
We got on the group chat with him, and the first thing he said to us was like, "I listened to your podcast, and I'm going to Braybrook," and we were like, "Oh," he's like, "I'll get you some." Like, he was like, "Joe, I'll get you some. I'll get you some." I was like, "Oh my god, he is such a sweet,
so lovely."
individual.
Thank you so much. It's I'm loving it. We're gonna have to do like an episode on all these different lagers.
I'll have to get them, and we'll have to go and we'll have to explore deeper into it. Just because that fact alone was so interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to go. That's one place that I would like to go if lockdown lifts. Can we go and can we meet there and try it?
Yeah, that'd be
fresh
fun.
at the site. I would really like that, I think.
And going back to what you said about this beer, it says on the label, it will remind you of a good stout. But the 5 weeks of lagering time also give this beer the smoothness and drinkability you would expect from all the Braybrook lagers. It's the perfect partner to grilled meat.
Oh,
there you go. Bit of food pairing in there as well.
It comes summertime, that's it. What I'll have to do is I'll have to grill my meats and get some more Braybrook black lagers. It's really, this I would say, unlike the Dig, which I loved the Dig and I would drink it anytime, this is actually sessionable. I could sit there for a whole...
Have we said what percentage it is?
Whole session. No, I don't think we have said, actually. We probably should.
5.2.
Do our job and tell people.
5.2%. That's not bad.
No, not at all. I think that's beyond sessionable.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, technically above session ABVs,
actually,
but for me, that's below session ABVs. It's fine. It's hardly 105.9%. It's all good. So why, I guess, while I finish the last of my glass, why should we, I'm a slow drinker, why should we support Tryanuary? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, just to support, as I said before, just to support the breweries, the bottle shops, the pubs, the bars, the tap rooms. By trying different ones, we're supporting our craft beer scene. And if we're not buying from them, they're not going to be around. We will lose them, especially at the minute. We've got to support all of these people if we want them to be around as well. But as well, I suppose in a more general, outside COVID time sense, it's just like I personally think that to really understand beers, you need to have an understanding of ingredients, an understanding of beer vocabulary, so that you can understand what you're tasting in the glass and put words to it, because sometimes that's quite difficult. But also trying different beer styles, so that when you pick up a beer and go, oh, that says it's a black lager, what does that mean? Because then you're not going to put it in your glass and go, well, that's really smoky, I don't like that. Because if you knew, it's a black lager, black lagers could be smoky, and it's not something that you enjoy, then you're not going to pick up a beer that you don't like. So I think trying lots of different things is really important in our personal beer educations.
I was very good not to. I was going to chime in and say I happen to know someone that's got an amazing beer school of beer vocabulary.
Do you know who that is? Who is that?
It's me. No, someone I know has a beer
I might
school.
happen to have a course that teaches you about beer ingredients and it
has an amazing vocab list of great words to use to describe your beer.
And it might also teach you tasting techniques, so that you can pick out all the bits when you're tasting. I might have a course that does that. I do. It's called Build Your Beer Vocabulary.
Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
And I might also have a beer membership where we learn about different beer styles every month.
I might be part of that group.
You might be part of that.
I might have been the troll in the comments when we did the live tasting on Friday.
Because my glass wasn't clean, because I hadn't had a chance to clean it.
I recommended her a beer clean glass video.
Recommended
and
my
it was
own
one that
beer
she's
clean
done.
glass recipe video to myself.
It was brilliant. It was my final moment.
It was good. It was good.
But yeah, I think I'm in total agreement with that about the pandemic situation in general, like that being one big reason this year in particular. And I think for that, it's really important for us to try. And I think even going dry, I think even doing dry January, in my opinion, you're still trying beers. It still counts as Tryanuary, in my opinion, because I think a lot of people, from the research that I did on the alcohol-free episode, and go back and listen to that if you haven't, there is a lot of people that do buy their alcohol free from supermarkets, and I think a lot of people that rely on macro for that. But actually, you can be doing a Tryanuary of alcohol free beers, and the price of a lot of these alcohol free beers isn't much more than what you're paying for a supermarket beer. I mean, there was a lot that was sub £2.
Yeah,
there was a few that were there was a lot that was sub £3. Everything that was £3 and above, it was a lot of import stuff or really like high-end type stuff. Like your Tool, I don't know if I pronounce that right, but Tool is how I say it. And Omnipolo and all those are the ones that were the higher price points. I think you can tack them onto your orders with bottle shops and try those if that's what you're doing. You can be buying beers from your bottle shops and waiting until February to try them if you're doing dry January. But it is very, very important, and I think especially now more than ever. And I think you can even count trying websites you've not tried before. For me, I did Wise Bartender for alcohol free, and I think that still counts because you have your Hamiltons, you have your McKellar's, you've got a lot of proper brewery stuff on there. It just happens to be alcohol free stuff. So and then, like you said, the other important thing is trying styles, exploring, seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like, because it will ultimately benefit you in future. And I think what I really like about Tryanuary is it pushes you to try things that you've thought about trying but never made the time to try before. And it sounds silly because any day you could go and do that, but I think in particular when you have that goal in mind, it sort of motivates you that extra bit. It's the gameability.
I think if you're like, if there's, you always drink this beer, that's your favorite, that's fine. Like, if this is what you always drink, then that's fine. But if you're someone like us that wants to try different things, wants to really see what's out there, because there is a massive range out there. I mean, we've got a dipper, a black lager, a sour, and a stout. And this is probably more towards a pastry stout than it is a regular stout. So
we had a pastry sour, we had fallen acorn.
Yeah, we've got
pastry sour. That was we've got loads of stuff that we're
like there are so many different things out there that sometimes it's good to just go and try it. And like, if you don't want to try different things, that's cool. But if you really want to understand what you're tasting and really understand beer styles, then go out and try them and try lots of different ones.
And know what you really like. That's the thing, is when you want to know what you really like, use this as an excuse to tack an extra order on, or an extra beer or 2 beers onto the order you're making of the stuff you love, and use that as your excuse to go, one extra one isn't going to hurt me in my wallet. I mean, it might. So if it is,
if it does, then don't do it.
Obviously. But if you are in a position where you can do it, tack a random one on from somebody you've not heard of or not tried of before, and try that and see where you get to with that. And
if you don't like it, then you don't like that. You probably don't like that style, or you don't like that brewery, and that's cool. Then you don't,
but you've tried it. I always say
you've tried it.
Rule something out and say you don't like it if you've never tried it. That's always my go-to, just in life in general, and I think it's quite applicable in beer as well. So
definitely.
Right, I'm getting thirsty now.
Yeah.
Next one.
Right, Braybrook Co. Blackberry and raspberry and
really
cherry.
We wanted to try Play.
I want, in general. And I really want to try the one that's supposed to be like a drumstick. So
I want the waffle one.
Oh,
Whichever the waffle one is, I want the waffle one. I almost ordered that one anyways, but I had to. My wallet was like, no, girl.
Too many.
My wallet was like, girl, no, you've got too many things to order.
Too many good beers. I shouldn't be buying beers for like ever because my fridge is full. I blame it on the podcast and on beer.
We already discussed this. We have the exact right amount of beers in our fridge. If anything, we're deficient.
True.
We're deficient in the beers that we can have.
Let's go with that.
Deficiencies. This is a lovely.
So it's very hazed. It's a lovely cherry red.
It's difficult to see with the light, and I think I'm holding up to the camera if you're watching the video, but it looks a lot darker than it is in the light.
You can see mine better. Yeah, there we go.
Let me get my torch out, my exceptional torch.
It is like a cherry red, and it's hazed. You can't see through it.
It's what I would expect from a sour, if I'm honest. Yeah. Like when I think of sours, it is kind of more closely to a berry sour. That is kind of what I think of.
It's got a bubbly pink head.
See, mine didn't pour.
Did yours? Oh, I got quite a nice head on mine.
It poured and then it dissipated very quickly. So maybe it was just a bad day of pouring, but
I'm getting a lot of cherry on the nose.
Yep. I'm getting a lot of cherry and I would say blackberry to kind of contrast that. The raspberry's not coming through as much in the smell for me.
Yeah. Right.
Interested. If it's bad, blame yourself. You pick this one.
No, it's not bad.
I said that before taking a sip.
It is tart. I like it.
See, I think this is the right level of tart for me. It's not the tart that to try to put it into words, it's not the kind of tart that you feel in the back part of your mouth. Like, do you know when you have something that's exceptionally sour and you can kind of, without effort, make the pucker in lips face and you can feel it sort of in the back of your mouth. It's not quite that level of tart. No. But would I give this to someone that's never had a sour before? I might do, depending on what they normally like. But it would be something that if you're very new and you're not sure if you like sour things, don't have this as your first.
Yeah. No, it's not puckering. So when it's like sour, it's gorgeous. I consider it to be puckering. I think the carbonation on it is adding to that because there's quite a bit of carbonation in there.
I was going to point out the carbonation as well because that gets picked up quite well. I think you're right. I think the carbonation is sort of what plays into the tartness. It's acidic, but I wouldn't say it's overly acidic to the point that I think I'd get. Well, I don't really get, but if somebody that might get acid reflux, I don't think it's going to like trigger that at all.
No,
unless you're really sensitive. But
no, and I think the carbonation's adding to that as well, but not to a level that it's unpleasant.
No, I quite like it. I don't think I could have too many of these in a row. Just
I think I'd only have
makes
one.
Me want to burp, but it's very good.
I'd say in the flavour, it's just kind of berry.
Yeah,
like I'm not picking out the three fruits. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
but I can definitely pick out the cherry and the blackberry and the aroma. But in the body, it's just kind of nice tart berry.
I think it's when you get like the forest fruits juice. It's kind of forest fruit juice. When you add a bit of carbonation to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste boozy at all. What's the ABV on this? It's
5%. Yeah, so it's not
I would say even taste lower than that. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would think it was quite low in ABV, so.
That was pleasant.
I like the can.
Yeah, their can art.
Just to show the can.
Can art is fun.
Great.
Got little cartoon pie slice who is spinning a cherry and a blackberry on his fingers, and he's got little purple kicks on.
I do like it, and the labels all have that same sort of vintagey kind of looking design to it.
Well, this is a special release.
Ooh,
according to the back, unfiltered and unpasteurized, so that's why it's hazy. It's got oats. It's got lactose in it.
I do like lactose. It's not going to help you with your veganuary.
It's not going to help you with veganuary.
I do like lactose. I wouldn't say that I can taste it. I don't think it comes through so much in the taste as you do with other beers. So whether or not whether if you've removed it, you'd notice a big difference. I don't know. You homebrew, you probably know better than I do.
I think it just adds to the body. So it's just not thin because of the lactose.
To be fair, saying that, I don't think it's. I've had sours that are very thin, and I don't think this is very thin. That makes sense.
So on the label it says, our first sour beer with lashings of berries and ends on Madagascar vanilla.
I don't know if I'm getting the vanilla, if I'm honest.
I didn't think I was. It's got 250 kilograms of blackberries, raspberries, and sweet cherries. Sweet cherries, not just sweet cherries.
Sweet cherries.
sweet cherries.
Where in the grocery store can I buy sweet cherries?
Sweet
I'd
cherries.
like to try them. Sweet cherries.
It's certainly not short of bright notes, but it all melts away for a smooth, subtle vanilla ending. I mean, I think it's so subtle I can't find it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think
That's not bad.
Everything's right.
Yeah.
Everything's right up until the subtle. I mean, I guess even the subtle vanilla, like you said, is right because it's very subtle.
Yeah.
I think once you've said that and I'm looking for it, I'm like, I think
Are you finding a little bit? Yeah.
I could make it out, but is that because you've told me?
Because you've said so. Because I wouldn't, when we were first talking about it, I
Power
wouldn't have
of
said there
suggestion.
was vanilla in this at all. No. Nice. I like that. That's nice.
I wouldn't have picked it out. Yeah, apparently. So when I looked into them, so they're in Middlesbrough, which is Yorkshire way. Apparently they started in Leeds, like as a home brewing operation. Okay. And I thought they were very, very new, but they started home brewing in 2014. So obviously that's before they were a business. This is all what I found on their website. Yeah. Started home brewing in 2014 properly. Then they kind of did like small batches where they'd kind of give that out, but they didn't start actually producing commercially, it doesn't appear. And then correct me if I'm wrong, if you work there and you know I'm wrong.
Email us.
Yeah, email us, send me hate mail, it's fine, I can deal with it. But apparently their first trio of beers was actually in 2017.
Oh really?
I hadn't actually heard of them until
I'd never heard of them until the end of last year, when a few people in groups were like, oh, I found these, and I was like, they look new.
I'd say I heard them about like middle last year-ish, where I kind of first noticed one or two popping up, but I had never really heard them. So I'm wondering if they were just maybe a very small operation and lockdown forced them to go a bit bigger than maybe they were. Or maybe it's bottle shops that carry them, that stock them, maybe are going online more now, so we're seeing them more now than we were. I don't know.
And I am in the south, so I sometimes don't get some of the stuff from up the north, just doesn't make it down this way.
Yeah, I'm southern as well. We are just, although it depends on who you ask. If you ask people in London, they're like, you're north of Watford, so you're not southern. You're
I had a friend who lived
and then you ask everyone northern and they go, no, you're southern.
I had a friend from Southampton and she just said everybody was north of her. So
I've got the added complexity of then everyone in this country goes, you don't sound, well, not foreign. Everybody, but you get people going, you don't sound British, you're definitely American or at least Canadian. And then you've got people in the US that go, you sound super British. So I'm lost somewhere in the middle, quite literally the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, because the South doesn't want me, the North doesn't want me, the US doesn't want me, and the UK doesn't want me. It's frustrated. I'm very confused.
I want you. You can stay with me.
Thanks. I'll move to Kent. So I thought that was quite good, and they've got when they kind of started, they go on about their branding as very sort of vintage 80s and 90s based, and I do get that with some of the labels that I saw. But I would say this style actually kind of makes me think more 50s.
Yeah, I was going to say that
label at the moment.
Yeah,
but if you look on their website and you look at the beers they started with, it is definitely like 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
There's some action film looking labels. But what I thought you'd be interested in, and that I was quite interested in, was on their website they stated that for every beer that they sell, they donate a portion to the British Hop Society Association to support the amazing work that they do.
That's exciting.
I don't know that much about the British Hop Society. I don't know if you do at all. But...
no, I know it's a good thing.
Yeah. What I got from the website was that they were formerly known as the National Hop Association, and it's a limited company. So they've got directors from each of the 3 growers groups sitting on the board. The growers groups are English Hops Limited, Hockbrand Hops Limited, and Wealden Hops Limited. And it's the forum by which, this is directly pulled from the website, don't at me about plagiarisms. So it's the forum in which growers make representations to the UK government, the EC International and National Industry Committees. So they donate, apparently, at least according to their website, they do donate to that as well. So should have been covered on our charity episode. Didn't know about it. Just happened to find out about it. So thought that was
that's exciting. I want to look into that now.
Yeah, so that's quite good. I do want to try their waffles one, so I will definitely be making an effort to get the waffles one.
Definitely be trying more of those. That's all of them so far. We would be trying more of.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I guess before we go on to our last one, which is the BBNO, Brew by Numbers, I guess ways that we can support, before we go on to our next beer, let's talk about ways that we can support Tryanuary. So bottle shop offerings. I think some bottle shops were offering boxes. Do you want to list the ones that we know about for sure?
Yeah, so a Hoppy Place was offering a Tryanuary box, wasn't it? And Yorkshire Craft Beers was offering a Tryanuary box. Theirs was quite fun because I think they did like a little guess which ones are in the box. Here's their blurred out
it's funny because I think they both had an interesting twist.
Yeah.
So Yorkshire did the guess what's in the box, and a Hoppy Place did an actual bingo card to tick off. So they're local to me. I think I've mentioned it several times before. They're local to me, and Dave put up the owner of it. He put up like a bingo card where it's like, here's all the different styles to try, and in his box it was all the different styles that he mentioned. That's so fun. I thought that was a really interesting way to like provoke to trying. It's like, I'll get this box, then I've also got this bingo card to tick off, and I thought that was fun. I'm sure other bottle shops probably did similar, but
I haven't heard any, but I'm sure they did. And there was discount codes and stuff that people were doing, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah, so Left Field Beers definitely did a discount code. I think it's 15% off if you're listening to it and it's before the end of January. Go check it out. I think it was literally, the discount code was like Tryanuary 15 or something like that. But they've got a really good selection. I mean, all of them have. I've ordered from Yorkshire Craft, Hoppy Place, and Left Field Beers, and they all have amazing. None of them pay us. None of them give us free beer. We buy all of it. It's not that. It's just genuinely, we feel like they've just got really good selections.
Yeah, and we've had really good customer service. And so January,
all of them.
Yeah, Optimism I've used before. I find that if I've been looking for something for a while and I can't find it, usually Optimism has got it. And Hop Shop, Aberdeen Hop Shop. I used for the first time this month as well. They were really good.
Yeah, when we got our dry January beers, and I was like, these are things that I think they had the Crunch AF before I even saw Hamilton announce it. I was like, this is brilliant. They had a really good selection. But discount codes. Look out for discount codes. I know breweries are also doing this month is very heavily discounted, and I'm wondering if it's because they all know people do dry January, try to be healthy, and therefore it's the enticing of like, be healthy but also buy from us, guys. I don't know enough in comparison to last year because I didn't really know about Tryanuary to know if this is normal or not. So it's like the January sales. But yeah, staggeringly good, had 21% off. So if it's
Beer Co
January,
Beer Co always do a Tryanuary box as well. I just remembered.
Oh, didn't know that,
because I've had one of theirs. I didn't get their one this year because it had stuff in it that I'd already tried, but previously I've got their Tryanuary one, and that's where I got my Funky Dory David Bowie beer, was in their Tryanuary box the year that was out.
That's the one that Hoppy Place has. They've got the Bibbidi Bobbidi.
Oh, they got Bibbidi Bobbidi hat. So I do need to get one of those.
So that's gonna be in my next order as well. I've been like saving up a bulk order that I'm gonna place before I get paid, and I'm gonna go poor, and that's fine.
But then when you do the order, you need to get me one of those. And you need to get me that other hype beer we were talking about.
All right, let's just... Yeah, we're not going to say this name. We're not going to say his name. We don't need to.
And I'm only drinking
more than it's already promoted.
No, I'm only drinking it for, scientific reasons for the podcast.
Yeah, says the person that messaged me going, oh, you're going to make me do it. I'm not going to make you. And you're like, oh, let's do it. But you're going to have your revenge on another episode that we also won't, spoiler alert.
It's not going to be revenge because you're going to really like it.
I probably will, based
Keep going on about it.
I have full trust in you. I have full trust in you. Full trust. And
when we get there, I'm going to be like, see, you were talking nonsense.
I will let you publicly shame me. Mm-hmm. That is fine.
And I will.
So I think the only other two, but I know you will. The only other two bits that I would personally recommend, I don't know if you've got anything to add to this, is when it comes to bottle shops, whether it be breweries you want to try or styles you want to try, what I'd recommend is doing sort of a blind box as such, with a bottle shop, and you can just tell them, here's the either say here's the breweries I want to try, or here's the styles I want to try, and here's the budget I want, and let them go and create you something. Let them just pick for you, and then it's kind of sort of a fun surprise for you, but you also know that you're getting the things that you want to get and the styles you want to try. A lot of bottle shops, they're very friendly in that way, where you can reach out to them and you can make those special requests. And I think for Tryanuary, it's the perfect time to utilize that surprise box function. And outside of that, I would say, if you've got other friends into craft beer at all, do beer trading. for me, I found that's a very cost-effective way. I definitely use that method. So like I posted that one of the beers that I'll mention before we finish the episode, of one that I really wanted to try. I got a trade for it. And another one I mentioned, somebody else was like, I can give that to you. And the third one that I mentioned, someone told me where it was that I could get it. So it's really good to utilize people within the community as well, because you save money when you buy an extra beer from where you're already ordering and you make a trade. So instead of getting duplicate of something, you could just trade for something you've never had before. So outside of January, definitely make usage of swapping if you can. That's sort of my tip on it. Anything else you want to add before we have the last one?
So off the back of that, I would say definitely, if you're not already, get into some good Facebook beer groups. They're all very different, so try a couple and then see which ones
what fits
fit you, because some of them are there's different vibes in all of them, so find the ones that fit to you, and ask people in those. Like, be like, I want to try this style, I want to try this brewery, what should I buy, where can I buy stuff, because everyone has different things that they that they can tell you. Like they'll recommend their favorite brewery, they'll recommend their favorite local, they'll recommend their favorite shop, their favorite style, or, oh, you've tried that and you've really enjoyed that, well, why don't you try this as well? Like, the community is there to support, like we're there to support each other, and it's just the craft beer community is really lovely.
Also,
generally,
off that, genuinely, there are different vibes. Yeah. Off of that as well, what I will say as well is a lot of the connections that I've made in terms of swapping too have come from Instagram, like or
Instagram as well.
Finding out some new things. I've found them out through Instagram. So I think, make an account, and like I have a whole separate beer account. So the account that my Adventures in Optimism, that one is literally just dedicated to beer. All I do is follow breweries. I mean, I follow food as well, because it's like, you got to eat when you drink. So there's that as well. Food porn in general. So it's, all beer, all food, and it's other people that are drinking and eating the stuff that I'm interested in. So that's how I've learned about some of the stuff that I've wanted to try. Was, Craft Beer Pinup did a Instagram live with, was it Three Hills? Is that what they're called? Three Hills, I believe. I don't know how I hadn't heard of them before, but I hadn't heard of them before, and they were talking about the BVPAK, I think it's called. Is a stout range that they do, and they do all different flavors of it, and I was like, that sounds like heaven. And as a person that loves doing beer comparisons, I was like, I want all of them, and I want to compare them all to each other.
She sent me the chocolate praline one.
I'm not gonna make you beat me out, but I'm just gonna say, imagine what I'd say. You'd have to beat me out right now. You fill in the blank beep right here. So jealous.
She bought an extra one.
I am fuming. I want it. So I'm definitely, it didn't make it to my top 10 that I'm going to list at the end of this episode, but that's only because I made that list prior to having watched that video. And I've already started once the top 10 that I've got clear out, that's the next one on the list, and I wouldn't have known about that if I never watched her Instagram live. So thank you, Craft Beer Pinup.
Follow Kimberly, Craft Beer Pinup. She is amazing. And I started a women's brew.
She's got amazing shoes.
Yeah, she's got amazing shoes.
She's got amazing shoes. I thought I had a shoe collection. I thought I had a shoe collection. She has a shoe collection.
Right. Yeah. But I started a women's brew as my beer account over 2 years ago now. Just over 2 years ago now. And I've met amazing people because of that beer account, that are now my friends. So start a beer Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. And
to document your Tryanuary.
Exactly. And the more you mingle with people as well, the more that you find that you'll find more people as well, because that's just the nature of Instagram, isn't it? So it's like, through Joanne, I found, other people that aren't even in the UK that I'm like, oh, actually, that's a good account to follow. I'll follow them as well. And then you just start networking, getting to know more people, getting to see what's interesting. And that's really helpful to give you, at least, if nothing else, inspiration of what you want to try. So even if you don't post reviews and you just post photos of beer, just go with it.
Yeah, just do it. It's fun. I like doing it.
Try it out.
Yep. For Tryanuary.
Way. Way. Right. Last one. I'm
Last
excited.
one. Right, this is Brew by Numbers Canadian Breakfast Stout. The can looks like it says number 8 in drippy maple syrup by the looks of it.
So I guess we should say as well, Brew by Numbers or BBNO, depending on how you refer to them. They're London-based brewery. They started quite a while ago. I believe it was 2012. I've gone to them personally on the beer mile when I did Bermondsey.
Jealous.
Really amazing beers, just really amazing beers. It didn't get the full effect because it was just between one lockdown in the tier system and all that, so it was still a bit difficult, but it was doable. And they always give their beers a particular number assigned, and they might have variants of that number. I find they use the number for different variations of a similar one, and this one happens to be number 8, and it is the Canadian Breakfast Stout. Whether or not there's more number 8s, I'm not positive. It's a lovely mocha coloured.
Oh, you got a good head on that one.
Yeah, it's quite big. That was my pouring. I will own up to that.
That is black.
It smells gorgeous.
All right, so it's black. It's got a thick beige head.
And it smells like coffee.
It does.
Like I've just poured myself
roasty coffee.
Roasty cold brew.
Yeah, that smells delicious.
Yeah, filter coffee, specifically filter coffee, I should say. It tastes like coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not getting much of the maple syrup, if I'm honest. So the Canadian element of it, I don't so much get that, but I'm getting very heavily coffee and I quite like it.
Yeah. Do you want to hear what's on the can?
Yes, read it to me.
Drawing inspiration from the sweet and savoury breakfast of Canada, we decided to brew this satisfyingly drinkable breakfast stout. So breakfast stouts tend to have coffee flavours in them. A robust foundation of oats alongside smoked chocolate, black and crystal malt allows the unmistakable flavour of Canadian maple syrup to shine with the addition of coffee and cacao nibs, providing a balanced complexity. The resulting beer is unctuous, full-bodied and smooth.
Unctuous is a fun word. I like that. I'm going to use that as a new vocab word. You've got to use it once this week now. Unctuous.
Canned on the 26th of November 20. It's quite a young beer.
Oh. I would say I'm definitely getting the crystals.
Crystal malt.
Crystal malt. That's definitely coming through. The coffee's definitely coming through. The cacao nib I could even get because there is that bitterness, but I wouldn't say the chocolate aspect of it. I would say the bitterness of a cacao nib, where there's a little bit of sweetness, but I wouldn't say chocolate as you might think.
So it depends on how much chocolate malt they've put in. Because if they haven't put a huge amount of chocolate malt in, it could just be there for roastiness, and it tends to give a coffee note and colour. So
it's definitely roasty. It's definitely coffee. Am I getting maple syrup as the main or a heavy taste? I'm not heavily getting maple syrup. Again, I'm not mad at it to go to my favourite phrase. But it is more so coffee focused, I think, than maple.
I'm definitely smelling that smoked malt, but it goes hand in hand with that roasty coffee. Roasty. So it's giving you that dark roast coffee.
Yeah, it's definitely dark roast coffee.
Yeah, and I think if there was maple syrup in this, it would be more cloying and it wouldn't be as nice.
Exactly. I think it's balanced just perfectly, to be honest. I think if there was a tad bit more sweetness, I wouldn't be upset if there was a little bit more sweetness to it. But however, I think because the bitterness does take over quite a lot, I think, towards the end of the sip. But I don't think it's not bad. It's quite enjoyable. And I know I've personally had a lot by Brew by Numbers. And what's really funny about them is their label is very simple. It's not like this big, as we've mentioned, it's sort of just a number on it. And it's sort of, it shows up in various different ways. This one happened to look like sticky maple syrup dripping. Whereas I admittedly will gravitate towards things with a very pretty label. For me, a pretty label. And this label is
labels
so
are very
plain.
simple. Yeah, they're very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, so often
I've yet to have a bad beer by them.
Yeah, true. Very true. But I feel like sometimes I pick something else because it's got a prettier label.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Was
influenced by the.
I find that when I'm deciding what to order, I'll go, that sounds really nice, like that Pink Lady Saison. I was like, I really want that,
lovely.
but I've still not ordered it because
it's good.
It gets to the back of my queue because something that looks prettier, superficially, it looks prettier, and if you've got two things that sound really nice, I then go, which one looks nicer? I do it subconsciously, but it happens, and then I go, let me go with that one. It's prettier, and I think what happens is I end up passing on a BB&O because it's not as much on the eyes label wise, but that's not something that you should do because they make very solid beers.
Yeah, and I think the label doesn't tell me what it's going to taste like often.
So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it from the front and not reading it,
if I'm just looking at the picture on the label, it doesn't tell me what it's going to taste like. Like if I look at that, that makes me think that. Well, sometimes you don't, but I often find with the Brew by Numbers one, it says what it is, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't look like it. Like this looks like it's got drippy maple syrup, but it doesn't actually taste like that.
Yeah.
Whereas you pick up the Brew Co, which has got this happy raspberry little pie. It's bright pink. It's got a happy fruit pie having a little wander down the street twirling some fruit. Like I'm gonna drink that. That's got berry in it.
The pie's on its way to, like, I don't know, it's just on its way to look cool at a schoolyard or something. Like, you know, he's not going anywhere. He's just like, I'm chilling, the party comes to me. Like that's what that label is saying.
Exactly. So I would go for that over Brew by Numbers. But every Brew by Numbers beer I've not had many, which is why I want to drink more this year. But everyone I've had has been good. So I need to buy more.
I've had quite a few and they've all been solid. I've never had one that I've gone like, really don't like that. I've always really liked them. And it is strictly down to, I just think they don't catch my eye. You can get them in Morrison's. If you are a person that relies heavily on a supermarket for budget purposes, you can get them at Morrison's. But they put together this bang and mix case it worked out so cheap to the point that
too many pounds for me.
The thing is, I think it's made it difficult for bottle shops though, because how can they compete when the direct to brewery has made this pack of however many beers so cheap? I don't know, and it's all quality stuff, so it's definitely one that I'd recommend people to try. And if you're in London or near London or going to London, go to the Bermondsey Beer Mile and go by there and just buy some beers, even if you don't stay, because it's good.
You have an excuse to buy the Pink Lady Saison because you need Saisons for next month.
The beer tent. Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to buy it for the beer tent. I've got some Boutilliers still. I think I've got a Boutilliers. That is a Saison that I've been saving for the right moment. And then when you said that's what happened, I was like, yes, I'm going to keep that. Now I've definitely got an excuse to have that one for sure. And I think it would be really good if when everything is sort of lifted, if at some point we can go into London as a podcast or just to go hang out and go do the beer mile together and go drink our way through the beer mile together. I think that would be really fun because there's a lot of really, really cool places there. So BB&O being one of them. So,
we have got so much good content for you for this Tryanuary episode that we're actually going to have to split it into 2 episodes. So our next episode will be Tryanuary Part 2. If you want to get hold of us, you can get Tori on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism. If you'd like to talk to me about Tryanuary or anything else beer related, you can find my personal account at A Woman's Brew on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. If you've been enjoying this episode about Tryanuary and you want to learn a bit more about beer, or you want to up your beer tasting game so you can get the most out of those new beers that you're trying, come find my beer school, Love Beer Learning, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Love Beer Learning, and at the website lovebeerlearning.co.uk. We have classes to train you in proper beer tasting techniques and to build your beer tasting confidence. And we also have the Beer Tent Society, where you can learn about beer styles, a new one every month. We're also now on Pinterest And we're on the TikTokies as Love Beer Learning, or you can email us lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. So come back next week for part 2 of our Tryanuary special. Cheers.